Welcome to the Dream Big, Ball Hard podcast with your girl Venus Mack-Hall and your boy I Am Your Brand Man. Don't forget to subscribe. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dream Big, Ball Hard podcast. This is where, yes, dreamers come to dream big and dream bigger. It's go big or go bigger here all day long. It is your boy. I am your
big or go bigger.
Go big or go bigger.
That's what you're doing? Okay.
That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. I am your brand man, and I am here with.
I am your girl, Venus Mack-Hall, helping women dominate entrepreneurship.
I know that's right.
What's going on, peeps? It seems like it's been forever, but it's only been a couple of days.
It's only been a couple of days. Well, 2 weeks to be exact. 2 weeks.
I was trying to let the people know whatever.
Yeah. I'm not counting. Yes, I am. I'm joking. I'm counting. What's up, guys? How y'all been? We are here, and we have a great topic for you today, which is what does outsourcing look like for you? But before we get into that topic, we want to know, Venus, I'm going to pop this on you. What was your big dream of the week?
Oh, I was about to say, dang, I was going to ask you that same question. So I'm good. I was about to say, dang, I had a question. I wanted to just see how your week was going. Did you dream any this week? All right.
Too much.
My big dream for this week. Man, my dream for this week is I'm in the process of remodeling my salon. So my dream is to make this happen and not drag it on for a long time. I've been really thinking about that and contemplating that and getting it done. And honestly, I did this remodel so that I can restructure my life because I am very, very firm on that. You have to spend money to make money. I just felt like if I remodel, make it look better, refresh, I'm going to attract more people, more luxury people. I already give off a luxury feel, but if I remodel and do more luxury, then I'm going to bring in more people. So my dreams and goals have all been centered around that this week and last week. I'm just getting it done.
Okay. All right.
Good. How is your week going? Any big dreams, goals, tasks?
Yes, all of the above. So very dope week. We went the Queen, Ladiva Davis. She was a teacher at definitely paying homage. You know, she was a dance teacher for she was 70, I think like 50 something years at Kappa, at Creative and Performing Arts High School. And so she passed at the end of September. And we had her funeral, her memorial service was at the Met. And it was a packed house at the Met, of course, because this woman had inspired. She's been working in the school district of Philadelphia for over 50 something years. And so, but I would wrap it up to bring it to my big dream. I mean, being in that room, was amazing, but there were so many great people in that room. I mean, so many, like I wish we could have counted the tally and the tab on the money that was in the room, because it was definitely some money in the room, but not just the money, but the big dreamers. There were so many entrepreneurs, so many artists, so many dancers, so many actors, so many movie playwrights. It was just so much class and beautiful people in this room, and it was great to be great amongst the greats in that room. It was great to see so many other people again, but also to hear what greatness they've been up to. And so what that means for me as far as my big dream, I was reading this book and it was talking about the power of what they call quote unquote weak ties. And that is like pretty much your network outside of your immediate networks, know. And so I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, and I wanted to touch base. And my wife is always like, do you have business cards? You got your business cards? Always got these, like, and I, for whatever reason, I always forget to carry them, and she always catches them. So, we hustling still, I'm sorry, it's more, but at the end of the day, like we still, hey, what you doing? This is what I'm doing.
Right.
So strengthening the network, that was a part of the big dream this week. I had a lot of, not a lot of, client issue. I had one in particular, client issue, but I prayed on it this morning and God just said, give it all back. And so whatever that means, that's what I'm gonna do.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means, that's what I'm gonna do, because all money ain't good money. And some people will take up and absorb your time. And I don't got time for that. And this particular client, I ain't got time for that. And so that has been my big learning lesson, big dream. It wasn't really a big dream much, but it all adds to it.
It all adds to it. And like being in those rooms are so powerful, man. First of all, they're empowering. Like,
yes, they are.
Me being in a room with people doing something gives me like that push that I need. Like if I'm having a down day or, it just makes me like, yo, I gotta go harder. Like, oh, I seen such and such doing this. That used to be my friend in high school. Like, she doing exactly what like, I gotta go harder. Being in those rooms and just being around money. That's why I try to make it very important about the circles that I'm in and the company that I keep when I do things, because like when I have an event, I like to have some real big heavy hitters. And then I like to bring and invite in some people who are not really scaling, but have the potential to scale. Because when you get in a room with them heavy hitters and just hearing them talk and hearing them motivate you, like it just takes you to a whole nother level. So that was a good little networking event that you went to.
It wasn't a networking event, it was a memorial, but
okay. Shout out to rest in peace. What's her name?
Diva Davis.
Diva Davis. Listen, but guess what? She brought the people out,
all together. That was the beautiful part of her legacy. It's just like, that's when all throughout the funeral, all I could think of was, man, like, the only thing guaranteed in life is death, and taxes. And so when I was looking at everybody around, I was just like, wow, I want to bring people out like this too. It was a definite motivation, because it was like, she did the work for it. She did the work. She worked for this. Like, she taught at Kappa, and she taught at Swarthmore. She was in Kung Fu. She was all about the community and all about her dancers and her girls and her young men. And so to be able to touch lives and bring them out like that to the Met, like the Met is it's a big deal. That's, where concerts and venues go down. So like, and I have a packed house at the Met. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And they said it was ironic that she died on the same day as the Queen of England. And it's just like, of course, the Queen. She died on the same day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big. For some reason, I feel like when people have funerals, they can watch their funeral. I hope, because I want to see my funeral, and it just makes me feel like I just buried my grandmama a little recent ago. And I was like, if she was watching, I know she would have been so proud. So those moments, like, proud.
No, not to stay even on this topic for too long, but I did actually, I kind of performed at, recently at another queen, the diva, Mrs. Jessie Knox. She was my 6th and 7th grade teacher and like #1 start supporter. Like, she was my biggest supporter from the beginning. I mean, when you talk about like, she's one of my passwords or something, you know what I mean? I might have to change my password now that I said that, but she,
they're out.
Yeah, right. But Jessie Knox, man, she was amazing. Not only did she touch everybody, but what she did for me was just amazing, and always supported. When I did my shows, she was there front row, first there. She was there in my prom. She was amazing. So I performed there, and I remember doing the same performance. They asked me to do a performance that I did for her, or like I went to her church and performed for her church for something she wanted me to. And so I redid that, and I added a little twist on it. I'm probably going to post it later. But it was one of those moments when I performed for her. It was nobody else in the room. I wanted to show Mama Jessie Knox, what her son has become. And like you said, I know she was watching down and smiling, because I yelled that loud to make sure that they got it, and so you are so right. But I do feel like, those are the angels. They watching.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So let's get into it. Y'all heard a lot. Y'all heard about all of our, all our stuff, right? But now let's
bring it back up. Let's bring it back up. But God, drop in the comments. Let us know. What was your dream? What was your thought? How's your week going? Keep us posted. Also, make sure you tap in to follow us. Make sure you stay connected with us. Follow us. Like us, share us, tell all your friends about us. Bring them to the house next week. Send this podcast.
Right.
Like whatever you
do it around the campfire.
Let's go.
Let's go. So what does outsourcing look like for you? Let's start here. What does outsourcing even mean? You might be in a small business and you hear this a lot, but what does it mean?
So outsourcing is basically hiring somebody.
Okay.
That would be the word that I would just write to make it real simple. Hiring somebody to handle a task in your business. It could also be like, for me, outsourcing. I used to did not want, and I still am like this a little bit. I don't like to work with people. I'm learning, guys. Don't kill me in the comments. I'm learning to work with people, but for a long time, I've been doing everything in my life by myself. So I'm pretty much, I know I can handle it, so I handle it. That's my motto. I don't want to.
And that's like a lot of entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Right. And so with my salon, I had a salon. I started off hiring people. It didn't work out because, for one, I didn't know how to be a manager. So I kind of let them do their own thing. And then it didn't work out. And so I was in the salon for years alone. I loved it. But I realized I could have been making so much more money if I would have outsourced more stylists to bring in more income. And so I outsourced stylists. And now I have a stylist. She's been on my team for like almost 2 years now. And I'm probably going to cry real tears if she ever decides to leave, but it just outsourcing. Outsourcing could look like anything. If you don't know how to run social media, you can outsource and hire somebody just to run your social media. And I'm going to encourage people, because I'm learning this as well. When you outsource somebody, let your hands go, show them what they need to do. But you have to give them some type of trust that they can do what you hired them to do. They're capable of doing what you hired to do, and then let them do what they do. Because nobody hates worse than, everybody remembers when we had that job and we had that boss that was down our throat.
Micromanaging.
You're not a productive worker when your boss is micromanaging you. You respect your boss more, and you kind of give them good quality work, because it's like, look, she don't bother me. I do what I got to do. She paid me on time.
Boom, bang, boom. Yeah.
Right. So I would encourage, because I had that problem as well. I outsource people, and then I'm like checking behind them, telling them what to do, telling them how to say. That's not effective work skills. Once you find somebody that is qualified, and you give them what you want to make your company run, you have to kind of let your hands go and let them do what they do. It's very hard, though. It's very hard.
It is, because when you start off, your business is your baby. It literally is. It has a social security number. It has a birth certificate. It has a birth certificate name. It has all of that. It's a baby. And so it's very hard to outsource your baby to somebody else, right? Think about giving your baby when you take it to school for the first time, or you let that babysitter come over. You know what I mean? You looking is hard. I looked up the definition of outsource to be direct. So, right, it's a verb, and it means to obtain goods or services from an outside or foreign supplier, especially in a place of an internal source. You can also outsource your work. So you can also be like a contractor that outsources as well. And so what outsourcing looks like for me in some cases is not just hiring people, because I think that's, for me, hiring is like the internal outsourcing, I guess, if that makes sense. It's like, okay, internally, I can't do all of this on my own. So I have to outsource. I will not grow to, like you were saying, even with your salon, you were at a capacity, you know what I mean? You weren't getting but so far. And now when you expand your brand, you expand your people. I don't know, I'm losing my words, but you outsource, and you were able to hire someone that now can do things while you're not there. And so, in my eyes, so for example, in my t-shirt business, I don't do like, I just sent this email off earlier to a client because they wanted some cheerleading outfits embroidered. And I said, I said complete transparency, because I used to run it like, yeah, I can do it. I'll do it. And what happened when I outsourced? So I outsourced for embroidery or some other big things, because it's just not my wheelhouse. I look at the machine and I'm like, nope. And so I'm like, no. So what I used to do was say, yeah, I embroider. And then I take it to another company that does embroidery. And that was me outsourcing. But this was my issue. Because they weren't in my internal systems, I could not control not only just the quality, but I could not control the time of production. So multiple times on multiple occasions, my product got to my customer late because I'm outsourcing to this individual that they got their own stuff going on. So they really not caring about my project like I care about my projects. And so, I had to wind up being down their throats and all this other stuff. So it speaks right down to what you were saying as far as trust goes, because you got to build those relationships so people can at least like look at your stuff like they look at theirs. So I was using other companies to outsource for work. I do that for a lot of printing needs. Like some people will call me up and say, hey, can you do mugs, or can you do lanyards, or I just got hit up for like window decals. And so I use, and y'all, I'm about to drop a gem on y'all. Take this gem, write it down. Vistaprint. If you have your LLC, you can be an outsource for them. They give you discount. So I got a Vistaprint account. And I forget what they call, like, so you're the supplier or whatever like that, but they give you a discounted price. So for example, a client will say, hey, I want some window decals. I put in the order for window decals. They have their retail price and their resellers. That's what it is. It's a reselling program. And so they had the resellers price. So I'll buy it for about $10. And then, they charge $20, $25 for this window decal, but I'm buying it for $10. And so I can charge a retail price or charge higher. But they're giving you the price that they would charge people if people would go without the resellers, and they will pay $25. It doesn't make any sense. I was kind of rambling. Mm-hmm. Okay. But those are some of the ways that I outsource. So I outsource to different companies. I did just recently hire 2 people. I'm about to hire 2 more. And so I'm on that same kind of outsourcing journey that you have been on in regards to hiring. But it's not just people, you can outsource for other companies. And like the definition said, like the definition said, you can also be an outsource for other people. So people can use you. You can, do your contracting work. Yeah, and you can be a source. So it's just like, it's a source. I like that root word is source.
Source. Yeah. Source. No, definitely. And I mean, you can outsource an accountant to do your taxes, so it could be a number of things. It's really just handling something in your business that you can't or don't want to do. To me, like the simple definition. I love that you like to go to Google it and find out the definition. I like to just straight up
just go for it.
Answer. I'm the Urban Dictionary, okay? But outsourcing is it's life changing.
Yeah, it is.
It's life changing. Once you really realize that you cannot handle everything in your business and still be a functional, active member,
human being in society. Like for real, like you won't even know who you are anymore after a certain time. Right. For real.
And it's been points when I have handled everything in all aspects of my life, and I've been drained. I've been frustrated. I've been angry. I've been mad, and still broke. So it's like it doesn't work, because think about it. When you're trying to outsource something, like let's just say, for instance, content, like creating content, you can spend hours on creating content and still not get the correct content that you want.
Yes.
And so now you've wasted time, money, because you have to pay to create all of this stuff on Canva or wherever you create, and you can't just have the regular package. And it's draining when you could have outsourced that to somebody who can do it in 1 hour or 30 minutes. And then now you have the whole day to handle other tasks. So once I decided to outsource, I literally almost outsourced. So like once I start really making some more money, oh baby, I'm not going to be doing nothing but coaching. That's my goal, to do nothing but coaching. I want systems in place, people in place to handle everything.
Yeah, that, it's kind of like my first business book I ever read was called The E-Myth, the entrepreneurial myth. And it talked about how you make this pyramid charts. And I still kind of follow this to this day. And you kind of scale up the ladder. You make this big pyramid. You say, OK, this CEO up here, the vice president of operations, scale systems, blah, blah, blah. Then you have your sales rep, you have your marketing team, you have all of that. You make this picture graph of, all the positions that you need to play the part in your business. Now, you have to, it says, put your name in all those boxes, right? And think about that. Like once you put your name, like, dang, I got to do all of this stuff. But the way they talk about it is that you compartmentalize it. So you do it in chunks. But the goal is Once you've mastered the sales, what happens in sales, you move up that ladder. You go to the next, you move to the sales manager position and you hire somebody to do that sales.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then until the point where you scale all the way up until you're actually the CEO. But to your point, I wanted to talk about, and kind of with, because we want to keep this brief in a half an hour. I wanted to talk about when outsourcing goes wrong and how that can go wrong, because and how do you manage that, right? Because I did talk about how it messed up my quality control. I'll let you go first because I can go in all day on how outsourcing can go wrong. But I also believe that it comes down to your systems in place. And so if you don't have good systems, then don't think somebody's just going to come in and, for like you said, for example, with the content, like I'm about to outsource for content, but I create my own content. And I already have a system in place to create it. So when I outsource, I just want them to schedule, strategize the scheduling, kind of do that and bring it to play. But if I'm not clear on my instructions, they're going to come to me. They're going to, just be all over the place. So let's talk about that. Like when outsourcing goes wrong and how that can happen.
When outsourcing goes wrong, and I can only speak from personal experiences, and outsourcing is going completely wrong with me right now. And Jared,
man.
But if we really unpack this thing, I only can blame myself. For one, because I'm not a good manager. I stated that in the beginning of the podcast. I do not like to micromanage. I like to give instructions, ask you if you need clarity, and then let you do your thing. So I hired somebody, for one, was my first time hiring this type of person. And I didn't even do an interview. I don't know. I think she told me what she was good at. And I was like, bet, great, I need you. And so that was the first mistake. So when outsourcing or hiring, you have another prime example. I just hired somebody for my salon, and we went all in, paid the deposit to start working at my salon. And then day one, she was like, this not going to work. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, this space that I'm working in, this suite, is not going to fit all of my stuff. But if I would have been a good manager and did a whole interview and said, hey, XYZ, I could have eliminated some of that thing. So I said all of that to say, and I don't even know if I answered the question, outsourcing can go wrong, but you have to, for one, communicate effectively. Like that's first. You have to communicate and say, XYZ, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is the turnaround time I'm looking for it to be in. This is how I want this email sent at this time, XYZ. Can you handle this? If that person says, yes, I can handle it. Do you need more clarity? No, I got it. Okay, then go and do the task. But then if they come back and then they're messing up, then you need to then evaluate, okay, maybe I should come at them a different way, because everybody learns differently. Everybody takes instructions differently. And so I've done all of those things. I've come back to this person several times, like, okay, hey, let's do it this way. And then it got to the point where I was technically doing the job, but I was doing the job as far as getting the information, but then I was just letting her do the task, and that's not working out. So when all of that to say, when you are outsourcing, it starts with you. You set the tone for your business. So you have to make sure that you are doing everything that is needed to be done and said in order for your outsourcer to work effectively.
So yeah. I definitely agree with you as far as it's starting with you. Like it starts with you knowing what you need and what you want out of your business for that outsourcing purpose. For me, with outsourcing with other companies, how it goes wrong. And like you had mentioned that communication is very big. My mom always taught me, communication is everything. And even in business, it's even more everything. So you have to be big on communication. So when I'm dealing with my people that I outsource with, I get so upset when they don't communicate. Like I get upset when they don't communicate effectively. And that's been my issue with outsourcing for me when outsourcing, quote unquote, goes wrong, because I'll send in something and say, hey, I need this. Like I outsource for embroidery. Hey, I need this embroidered. And they say, okay, cool. And I'm like, okay, is this date possible to receive my items back on? Oh yeah, sure. It's possible. It's possible. Date for pickup. Hey, is my stuff ready? Oh no, we need another day or two. Oh no, we need, It's the most inconveniencing thing. And it's like, that's not on my end. It's on their communication end. Because I crossed all my I's, all my T's and dotted all my I's, and they're not delivering. And so it's just like, okay, and in that case, what do you do? And I honestly haven't even figured that answer out outside of do it my damn self.
No, I mean, because honestly, you can outsource to one particular person to say, hey, okay, let's just use your shirts for instance. Like, hey, if I send you a project, what's your turnaround time? Let's say they say 5 days. Okay, great, 5 days. What if I need it in 2 days? Is there a fee I can pay you to have it in 2 days? Because for me, if I was outsourcing your shirts, 5 days would be my turnaround time, and you probably just getting in line with all the other orders that I have. But if you put in an extra tag on that you want to pay me extra to have it in 2 days, then okay, this is prioritized for 2 days. And sometimes having your one specific person to be like, hey, I'm adding you to my contract. This is, I'm going to be using you, for this and you alone only. But also you got to make sure that you're using that person and making sure that you're giving them enough business that, okay, Jared, when he comes to me, he's always bringing me business. It's always good. It's consistent. It's not once a month. And he feels like, oh, once a month he's coming in and he's giving me something. I got to drop everything because he told his client. No, it don't work like that.
It don't work like that.
Or it could work like that if you put that price tag on it.
No doubt. And even with that case, like with this particular company that I work with, I've done that before. I'm like, yo, I can toss some extra money on here to get this, faster. They really don't even care about the money because they are big. They do all of like the sports team and sports memorabilia and stuff like that. So they already got contracts out there. They don't really need my money.
So then that was for you. You need to find somebody else.
Yeah, and that's the solution right there is find somebody else. And personally, I want to find, and I look for other people. However, they are the ones with the lowest prices, like in town. Like, and there are other people, but now I'm dealing with I don't want to say people like me because they're not like me, but they're small businesses, right? And with that, quality control becomes a thing now.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of just my backstory on outsourcing going wrong. Like my goal is to completely vertically integrate. I want to own everything, and I will outsource for what I need to outsource for, but I want to own the entire process. Sooner, I want my own sweatshop making shirts. Like I don't want to outsource even for shirts.
You can get to that. You can get to that, but it starts small with building a team.
It does.
Just with building a team, even how with you, and I'm like, hey, can I bounce some clients to you? I could do probably, no, I can't. But if I wanted to learn it, I could do that, but it's good to outsource to other people. And that's a form of outsourcing as well, to say, hey, listen, I'm going to give this to you and you deal with the client, and you do this. And then it comes to now you have your own little crew of people that can do everything. And now y'all a big business.
Yep.
You can operate like that.
You just said something that I kind of do. Like, so now, for example, the email that I sent off to my client that wanted embroidery, I said, listen, this is not my wheelhouse. I can press it and it will definitely look nice. And I said, listen, if it want embroidered, I will steer you in the right direction. It will get right. Now, I didn't say that I would, but in my mind, I'm like, honestly, I'm going to just hand over the contact. Like, and I know like people like, what? That's a major contact. And I know they're going to try, but I can't worry about that. Like, because if they're going to screw up the quality or if they're going to screw up, I want it to be their screw up. I don't want it to be mine. And cause it's happened before using these people where they made a mistake on some designs. And I had to eat that, like, because I was telling the people that I did the work. Right. And when I outsourced it, yeah.
And to be honest, I'm not really big on giving out contacts if I know that the person is not going to do the job.
Oh, they'll do the job. They just going to probably try and steal it. They're going to try and steal the client.
Oh, okay. No, okay. So, but that's not nothing to worry about because to me, client loyalty,
that's it.
They're always going to come back to you.
And that's why I was like, I didn't say it, but I know if they wanted embroidery, I would have wound up just going on and doing that because in the same instance,
they didn't do what I did for this client, you know, and if your customer service, I'm big on customer service. If your customer service is on point, you're going to build brand loyalty with your clients, and they'll go somewhere else for something else. Like I was listening to this podcast, but they're going to come back. And she was like, you want your brand loyalty to be so thick, so good that your clients feel like they cheating on you if they go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever been in business, like doing business with somebody else, or everybody, we're customers of other things. Like we go back to people that we know treat us right. Mm-hmm. Like there are some Dunkin' Donuts and some McDonald's. I don't even eat McDonald's, but some Dunkin' Donuts I don't go to because I had to cuss out the manager. And I'm like, you ain't never getting $1 from me again.
Right. So you don't eat McDonald's?
I don't eat McDonald's. No, it's poison.
I just had a really hefty conversation with somebody on the fact that I'm disgusted at myself that I love McDonald's.
Yo, I can't eat it. Last night I threw up on I-76 driving into work off some McDonald's French fries, and I was like, never again. That's the hood.
The hood is still stuck in me a little bit, and I'm not mad at it. I had McDonald's oatmeal this morning. I think McDonald's hands down has the best oatmeal in fast food restaurant ever.
I've heard that.
Pancakes. A fish fillet. Don't get me started, because I am a McDonald's eater. Now, granted, I don't eat McDonald's every day, and I don't go to McDonald's like, oh, I want McDonald's. But if I'm in a car with somebody and they say McDonald's, I'm not the person that's like, what? I'm going to get me a double fish fillet.
You there for it, not the double.
A double fish fillet with lettuce.
That's not even on the menu.
It's not on the menu. That's how I'm greedy. But listen to the order and try it out, guys. Double fish fillet with cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and the slithered onions, which are cut onions, slithered onions, with the tartar sauce and ketchup. Baby, it will change your life. Try it out today and drop in the comments if y'all went to McDonald's.
So I might get there for lunch. How to outsource, what outsourcing means, and how to get the best chicken, the double fish fillet sandwich with the slithered onions on it. Slithered onions.
Sponsor us. McDonald's, you need to sponsor us and give me a sandwich.
Clearly, yo, this has been a dope conversation, y'all. I hope y'all got the gems that we dropped about outsourcing, what it means, how to effectively do it. And I think let's pull it back to some things that we talked about and truly learned. And I think the biggest thing that you mentioned was one, that we can't do everything on our own. So that's really why the importance of outsourcing comes about. Other than that, you can't do everything on your own. But I totally lost my train of thought. But it's all in the importance of outsourcing. What did you get? Like, what are your recap? Just outsource.
If you can't do it, you need to hire somebody. Stop draining yourself. Stop forcing yourself. Stop pushing yourself. You are only tearing down your body and messing up your brand. If you can do it, outsource. And don't worry about the money. If you get a good person to outsource, the money is going to come right back in.
Big facts.
Period.
Communication. That's what you said.
Yes. And you have to effectively communicate what you want. Don't expect, because you know me, I was like, hey, not to make this episode any longer, but I would be like, hey, I want you to think like me. And they're like, I don't even know you, girl. Like, you know, or I would be like, hey, do X, Y, and Z. And they would be like, well, you didn't really give me clear direction. So
communication is key, and knowing your systems.
Knowing your systems and having systems in place that you are communicating to the people that you're outsourcing to. So I think focus on systems enough, but we need to, because if you have correct systems in place, your systems can be your assistant.
Yes. Biggest fact ever. I was just talking about to make this longer, but I was talking to a client last night, and she wanted to negotiate prices, and because she wants to do kind of like a drop shipping thing, but she wants to pay bulk prices. I lost my train of thought again.
All right, it's time for us to go, y'all.
That means it's time for us to go. It's time for us to go. It's one of this conversation been too long.
Episode. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you share this episode. Comment below. Give us some input. Let us know how it's going, and make sure you follow us on social media. Follow our website. I'm everything, everywhere. VenusMack-Hall.com. www.venusmackhall.com. Jared, let me know what you got going on.
I am your brand man, baby. That's where you find me. Google it. I am your brand man. I'm on every platform except for like Twitch, I guess. But, you know, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, hit me up. Google me. I am your brand man. Check us out.
before we go, I just want to let y'all know that this is the third episode that he has said Google me, and y'all, I haven't been able to say it. I'm holding him accountable. So
hold on, no, we was on a consultation yesterday. We had to figure that out because you are Googleable. However, there are some restrictions on the account that we got to figure out.
Let's hold them accountable, y'all. I want to be able to be like, Google me. So let's hold Jared accountable to that.
Next episode, we gonna be Googleable.
Bye.
See y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.
Picture me rolling, lifestyle golden, platinum, diamonds, neck and wrist.